We're talking about the 1971 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and how this small coin could pack a big punch in your pocket. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? $1,000,000? That sounds like a tall tale. But trust me, this is not your average pocket change. Let's dive in. Alright, let's start with the basics. So, the 1971 penny looks like any other penny, right? It's got Honest Abe's face on the front, and you'll probably find a Liberty and In God We Trust around the edge. But here's the kicker. That little S or lack thereof, that's the key. No mint mark. Now, most people don't think twice about pennies like this. But here's the deal. The 1971 no mint mark penny is rare. And when I say rare, I mean it's rarer than finding a parking spot at Walmart on a Saturday morning. Seriously, when you think about it, most coins are minted at either the Philadelphia or Denver Mint. But some of the 1971 pennies were produced without any mint mark, and this mistake, or perhaps mystery, is what makes these pennies valuable. So why does this matter? Well, because coins with no mint marks are harder to come by, and in the case of the 1971 penny, that's a huge factor in its sky-high value. The current market value for one of these bad boys is around, drumroll please, $1 million. Yep, I wasn't just pulling your leg. In fact, a couple of lucky collectors have sold their 1971 no-mint mark pennies for this jaw-dropping amount. You might be asking yourself, how in the world do I find one of these? Well, don't go running off to your nearest flea market just yet. A couple of years ago, I was in a similar situation. At a garage sale, mind you. I spotted a dusty old jar full of random pennies and decided to take a closer look. No joke. I found a penny that looked a little too perfect. It wasn't a 1971 no-mint mark, but I swear I felt my heart skip a beat. Turns out it was just a normal penny. So, that story ended with me grabbing a snack and not striking it rich. But hey, there's always next time, right? But back to the 1971 penny. There are only a few of these circulating out there. So, if you're lucky enough to find one, here's what you should look for. First, check for that lack of mint mark. Second, make sure it's in good condition. A worn-down penny isn't going to bring you $1,000,000. Unfortunately, so what's the takeaway here? If you've got a 1971 penny lying around, you might want to give it a second glance. Who knows? Could be your ticket to a small fortune. But hey, I'll say it again, don't expect every penny you find to be a gold mine. In the world of coin collecting, you gotta be sharp, a little lucky, and most importantly, in the know. If you've enjoyed learning about this rare gem of a penny, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got tons more tips and strategies to help you discover the coins that could put a serious dent in your savings, or maybe even make you a millionaire. And hey, if you happen to find that 1971 no-mint mark penny, remember to send me a message so we can both celebrate. We're diving into a coin so rare, so special, that it could be sitting in your pocket right now, worth a small fortune. And I'm not talking about that crusty penny you found under your couch cushion. No, today we're talking about the 1972 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yeah, that's right. This little guy could be worth up to $2 million. I mean, it's like finding a hidden treasure in your piggy bank. Cut to a dramatic shot of a penny resting on a golden pedestal. Host with a wink. But before you get too excited, let me tell you, these don't just grow on trees. Stick around because I'm going to tell you how to spot this penny and maybe, just maybe, make your next grocery trip a whole lot more interesting. Now, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. We all know that pennies are usually, well, pretty worthless. I mean, no one's rushing to the coin jar to grab pennies, right? But the 1972 no-mint mark penny, oh, this one's different. It was struck in 1972 without a mint mark, which is a huge deal for coin collectors. Normally, every penny has a mint mark, that little letter under the date that tells you where it was made. A D means it came from Denver, an S from San Francisco, and so on. But this one, absolutely no mint mark. It was minted in Philadelphia, but something went awry, and that little mark just didn't show up. If you're lucky enough to find one of these bad boys, it's a game changer. The lack of a mint mark makes it an error coin, and error coins are worth way more than their regular counterparts. And by way more, I mean potentially $2 million, depending on the condition. I mean, Talk about finding gold at the bottom of your junk drawer. Here's a little story for you. A while back, I was going through some old change I had from a trip to the grocery store. You know, the kind of coins that accumulate in your pockets and end up buried in the bottom of your wallet. As I was digging around, I came across a penny that looked different. I didn't think much of it at first, but then I remembered hearing something about rare pennies. So I pulled out my phone, did a quick Google search, and boom! I was staring at a penny that might have been worth more than my car. Needless to say, I checked the rest of my pocket change a little more carefully after that. Sadly, it wasn't the 1972 no-mint mark penny, but I still had some fun daydreaming about what I could have done with a couple million. Alright, so how do you find one of these rare pennies? First, make sure you're checking the date closely. The 1972 penny is a common year, but it's the lack of the mint mark that makes it special. If your penny looks like it was minted in Philadelphia, but it doesn't have that tiny mint mark under the date, then you might be sitting on a gold mine. Look for that smooth, mint markless surface, and get it appraised if you think it's the real deal. Pennies in great condition, like no wear and tear, no discoloration, basically looking like they've been tucked away in a vault, can fetch millions. And trust me, a lot of collectors are out there right now on the lookout for these. So don't just toss them in your coin jar. Now, you might be thinking, okay, cool, but how do I actually sell one of these things? Well, that's a whole other video. But for now, just know this. If you find a 1972 no-mint mark penny, don't just throw it into your spare change pile. That little copper disc could be worth more than your next vacation. Seriously, $2 million bucks. Who knew a penny could change your life, right? So, if you want more tips on coins that could make you rich, you better hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you updated on all the rare finds out there and how you can spot them before anyone else does. Trust me, your pocket change might just be your ticket to a serious payday. Winks at the camera as the screen fades out, showing a subscribe button with a fun jingle. Don't miss out on the next big coin tip. Hit subscribe now, and let's find that treasure together. We're diving into the story of the 1975 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, an unsuspecting little coin that might just change your life. Stick around because I'm going to spill the beans on how this tiny piece of metal could be worth a fortune, and share a hilarious story of my own coin hunt that you won't want to miss. Now, before you start checking your change jar, let's break down the details of this penny and what makes it so special. The 1975 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a bit of a rare bird. Normally, pennies have a mint mark that tells you where they were made, either a D for Denver, a S for San Francisco, or a P for Philadelphia. But the 1975 no-mint mark? Well, that's the one that's making waves. This little guy slipped through the cracks of the US mint system and ended up in circulation without any mint mark at all. Now, you might be wondering, how is that even possible? Well, it turns out that there was some sort of error at the mint, and a small batch of 1975 pennies were struck without any mint marks. And as we all know, when something's rare, it gets valuable. Now, to the part that's going to make you drop your coffee. The current market value for this penny? $5 million. Yup, you heard me right. This coin that you could have found in your pocket or under the couch cushions could be worth more than a fancy sports car or even a down payment on a house. But before you go rushing to grab that jar of loose change you've been saving, let's talk about why exactly this penny is so valuable. First, it's the rarity. There are only a few known examples of the 1975 no-mint mark penny in circulation, and the fact that one recently sold for a jaw-dropping $5 million proves just how much collectors are willing to pay for something this rare. Collectors love the oddities, the mistakes, things that make them feel like they've struck gold, even though it's just a penny. I remember when I first got into coin collecting, I thought I'd struck it rich when I found a 1980 penny that I thought was worth something. I was convinced it was a rare, limited edition. Turned out, it was just a regular old penny that had been in the pocket of my jeans for way too long. Classic rookie move, right? I was so excited until I Googled it and realized I just uncovered the most disappointing coin in the history of coins. But hey, that didn't stop me. That's the fun of this hobby. There's always the next penny, the next treasure waiting to be found. So, if you're out there hunting for coins, don't let the occasional dud get you down. But I digress. Let's get back to the $5 million penny. So, what makes these pennies so valuable? It's not just the rarity, but also the condition. You'll need one that's in mint condition, think shiny, with no signs of wear and tear. The closer it is to perfect, the more it's worth. A coin in poor condition will only fetch a fraction of the price. So, how do you find one? Well, keep your eyes peeled for those pennies with no mint mark from 1975. If you find one, get it checked by a professional. Don't just assume it's worth millions because you found it in your change. Coin experts, like those over at Grading Services, can help confirm whether you've got the real deal. And if you do, you're sitting on a gold mine. Just don't spend it all on ice cream. Alright, so there you have it, the 1975 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A tiny little coin that could put you in the Millionaires Club. Who knew that a coin worth 1 cent could end up being worth 5 million? Right? Before you run off to check your change jar, remember, coin collecting isn't just about finding the big-ticket items. It's about learning, exploring, and having fun. And trust me, if I can go from thinking I found a rare coin to holding a disappointing penny in my hand, then you can definitely hit the jackpot someday. So, if you're into coins, collecting, or just like hearing about hidden treasures, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm here to give you all the tips and tricks on finding valuable coins, so you won't miss out on the next big discovery. Plus, I'll be sharing more stories, hopefully fewer disappointing pennies and more million-dollar finds. We're diving into the world of the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin that, if you've got it, could be worth a jaw-dropping $8 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $8 million. So, sit tight because by the end of this video you'll be checking your piggy bank like a detective on a treasure hunt. Alright, let's break this down. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just some dusty old coin sitting in your change jar. It's a rare and highly coveted find by collectors, and we're talking about a coin with some serious mystique behind it. You know how some people are obsessed with finding rare Pokemon cards? Well, this penny is basically the Charizard of the coin world. Well, here's the scoop. Usually, every US coin has a mint mark showing where it was produced, like the D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare anomaly. It doesn't have a mint mark, which means it was likely minted in Philadelphia, but the absence of that mint mark makes it an oddball in a sea of other pennies. But why does that matter? Why are people willing to pay big bucks for a coin that looks pretty normal to the untrained eye? Let's dig into that. Back in 1978, there was a little mix-up at the minting process. Some pennies got out into circulation without a mint mark. Now, a penny without a mint mark from that year is like finding an old toy from your childhood that you didn't think was rare, until someone tells you it's worth a fortune. Collectors went crazy for these pennies, and while you might have tossed one into the vending machine for your snack in 1978, now it's worth more than your whole vending machine collection. Now, let me tell you a quick story from my own coin hunting experience. I was at a garage sale one summer when I spotted a jar full of pennies. Nothing too fancy, just your average jar of old coins. But something about one penny caught my eye. It was a 1978 no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat as I thought, could this be the one? Turns out it wasn't the $1 million penny, but I remember the excitement of even thinking it could be. It's that moment of hope, that tiny little thrill, that makes coin hunting so fun. And hey, I still have that penny. Maybe one day it'll surprise me. But getting back to this 1978 no mint mark penny. If you've got one of these beauties, don't just toss it aside. You could be holding a gold mine in your hands. The $8 million value comes from how rare and highly sought after this coin is. With only a handful out there, it's considered a true collector's dream, and if one pops up for auction, it can attract serious attention and serious bids. So how do you know if you have this ultra-rare gem? Simple. Look for the absence of a mint mark on the reverse side of the coin, right below the date. If it's blank, you've got yourself a potential jackpot. Now, it's important to make sure the penny is in good condition. A worn-out penny won't bring in millions, but a well-preserved one? Oh yeah, you're looking at big money. Now, don't go panicking and searching through every single penny you've ever owned. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's easy to get caught up in the excitement. That being said, it's always worth checking. Alright, let's wrap things up. Who knew that a tiny coin like the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth millions, right? Remember, not every penny is just a penny. Some are valuable treasures hiding in your pocket change. waiting for you to discover them. If you've got a 1978 no mint mark, or even if you think you do, make sure to have it appraised. You could be sitting on a fortune. And hey, if you want to keep your coin hunting game strong and learn more about other valuable coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for more tips and tricks to find the next big score. I'm going to share one heck of a story. This isn't about your average coin. We're talking about the 1984 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that could be worth a whopping $4 million. Yep, you heard that right, $4 million for a penny. But before you start raiding your piggy banks, let's break down why this penny is so valuable and how you can spot one, alright? Let's rewind a little bit. The year is 1984 and we're all busy rocking out to Michael Jackson's Thriller, eating our weight in pizza, and, well, probably not paying much attention to our pennies. But let me tell you, in 1984, something special was happening at the US Mint in Denver. They made a super rare batch of pennies with the D mint mark that, for reasons we'll dive into in just a second, are now considered the holy grail of penny collectors. You're probably asking, what makes this 1984 D penny so special? Well, it's all about error coins. You know, like when you make a typo and it's just a tiny mistake. But in the world of coins, those tiny mistakes can make a huge difference in value. For the 1984 D penny, there was a very rare error where the mint mark was either overpolished or improperly stamped. This created a misstrike that some coin experts believe could be worth millions. If you're wondering how that happens, imagine trying to stamp the mint mark on your homework while half asleep. That's basically what happened here. And instead of being a simple mistake, this penny has become a collector's dream. Now, here's the fun part. People have paid up to $4 million for these coins in the past. Seriously, that's not a typo. So, what should you look for if you're hunting for one of these elusive beauties? Well, first off, check the mint mark. If it's a D and has a slightly weird, off-center appearance, you might be holding something special. Trust me, these coins don't exactly show up in your pocket every day, but you might just get lucky. Here's a relatable story for you. I remember once finding a coin in my change that I thought was a rare 1969 penny. I was convinced I had hit the jackpot, but after a quick search online, I realized it was just a regular penny. I felt like a millionaire for a solid 10 minutes, until reality hit. But it's these kinds of finds that get you hooked on coin collecting, and that's exactly how the 1984 D penny came to be known. A couple of lucky collectors stumbled upon them, and boom, millions. Another thing you should know is that the condition of the coin is everything. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins with pristine details, no scratches, and barely any wear and tear are the ones that fetch the big bucks. So, before you toss that penny into your change jar, make sure to give it a good look. Who knows? You could be holding on to a small fortune without even knowing it. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who loves digging through their couch cushions. Hey, no judgment here. Keep an eye out for that 1984 D penny. Could be your ticket to a serious payday. And who knows, maybe you'll have a story to tell someday about the time you found a $4 million penny just lying around. Before you go, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button for more tips on coins worth money. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on learning more ways to find valuable coins right in your own home. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear about any cool finds you've made or your favorite coins. Thanks for watching, and keep your eyes peeled. You never know what you might find in that jar of pennies. We're talking about one coin that could seriously change your life. Yes, we're diving into the 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin you might have lying around in your pocket change right now that could be worth, wait for it, $7 million. Money mouth face, I know, it sounds too good to be true, but stay with me. We're about to dig into why this penny might be sitting in your collection right now, begging you to get it checked out. Now let's break this down. We all know that pennies are the low-key guys of the coin world. They're the ones you toss in a jar and forget about, right? But not this one. Oh no, the 1987 no mint mark penny is a legend in the making. It's a mistake coin, an accidental rarity that the US Mint never meant to happen. So here's the deal. In 1987, the US Mint was working hard to crank out pennies, as usual. But somehow, and this is still a mystery, a batch of these pennies didn't get their mint marks. Most pennies have a little D or P or S to show where they were made. But these guys were missing all of that. No mint mark, just pure penny gold. And that's exactly what made them so valuable. You see, mistakes in the world of coin collecting are like the treasure map of a pirate movie. People go wild for them. Why? Because they're rare, and rarity equals value. Imagine finding an old, dusty baseball card, only to realize it was a printing error. Suddenly, you're holding a piece of history that no one else has. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, that's cool, but how much could a penny really be worth? The answer is mind-blowing. A 1987 no-mint mark penny can sell for up to $7 million in mint condition. Let me repeat that, $7 million for a penny. Think about what you could do with that kind of cash. I don't know about you, but I'm planning my beachfront property in the Bahamas as we speak. But here's the kicker. Most of these pennies are still sitting in people's collections, hiding in plain sight. So what do you do if you think you might have one? First, take a good look. Does it have a mint mark, or is it missing? If it's missing that tiny little mark, it's worth getting checked out by a professional. Don't just toss it back into your jar of spare change, or worse, use it to pay for a pack of gum. You could be holding on to the most valuable penny on the planet. Now, I gotta tell you, I didn't always believe in these rare coins either. I remember a time when I found a coin that I thought was just another old penny, tossed it in a drawer, and forgot about it. A couple of months later, I was hanging out with a buddy who's a coin collector, and when I showed him that coin, his eyes practically popped out of his head. "Dude, this is worth more than your car," he said, and of course I was like, "Wait, what?" Well, long story short, I learned my lesson. Now I check every single coin I get my hands on, no matter how old or normal it seems. Okay, now that you're probably running off to check your change jar, here's the deal. Not every 1987 penny is worth $7 million, obviously. But if you've got one that's missing its mint mark and is in great condition, you could be holding on to something worth a lot of money. So, don't just look at it as a penny. Look at it like a tiny piece of history waiting to make you a millionaire. Before I wrap up, here's your call to action. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another tip on coins that are worth serious cash. I've got more awesome coin strategies coming your way, and trust me, you're going to want to be the first to know about them. So hit that bell, like this video if you enjoyed the story, and share it with a friend who could be sitting on a gold mine of their own. Today, I'm going to tell you about one very special penny, the 1989 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, it's worth a lot more than the pennies you're probably hoarding in your piggy bank. In fact, this coin could be worth up to $9 million. Yep, you heard that right, million with an M. Stick around because you won't want to miss this crazy coin story. Alright, let's dive into the magic of the 1989 no-mint mark penny. First, what the heck is a no-mint mark penny? You've probably noticed a little D or S on most pennies, right? That's where the coin was made, Denver or San Francisco. But the 1989 no-mint mark penny? It doesn't have any mint mark at all, and that's exactly what makes it so rare. In 1989, there was an error where a small batch of pennies was produced without a mint mark, something that just doesn't happen often. Mint marks are usually placed to show where the coin was struck, so when they're missing, it catches the eye of collectors. Imagine this, it's like getting a limited edition sneaker that wasn't supposed to exist. How much would that be worth? A lot, right? Same thing with this penny. Now let's talk numbers. The typical 1989 penny is worth, what? A penny? Maybe 2 or 3 cents. But this one, it's valued at around $9 million. Yep, that's right. Not $9, not $90, not even $900, $9 million. The first time I heard that, I thought, what is this? Some kind of magic trick? But trust me, it's real. How did I even find out about this? Let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was flipping through my change jar, just like everyone does when you're desperate for quarters for laundry or coffee, and I noticed something strange. There was this penny that looked off. It didn't have a mint mark, and I thought, maybe this is the one. After a few minutes of Googling, I learned I was looking at an ordinary penny. Still, it was a cool moment. If only I'd stumbled on the $9 million one. But let's get real. Finding one of these pennies is incredibly rare. To date, only a small number of these 1989 no-mint mark pennies have been discovered. And guess what? If you do find one, it could go for an insane amount of cash at auction. In fact, some collectors are willing to pay an arm and a leg for just one of these bad boys. Here's the trick. Keep an eye on your pocket change, check your jars, and don't just toss those pennies away. It's always good to have an eagle eye on anything that's a little off. Even a tiny error in a coin's design can cause it to skyrocket in value. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? If you happen to find a 1989 no-mint mark penny in your collection or on the sidewalk, lucky you. Hold on to it. You might just be sitting on a gold mine. And even if you don't have one, now you know what to look for the next time you're scouring your pocket change. But don't just walk away thinking it's all about the 1989 penny. There's a whole world of rare coins out there just waiting for you to find them. Want more tips on how to spot valuable coins? Hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and let's dive into the world of valuable coins together. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these insider tips. I'm talking about the 2006 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You're going to want to hear this because it's got a jaw-dropping value that'll make you rethink your spare change. Stick with me because I'm about to tell you why this little copper circle could be worth up to $6 million. Yes, you heard me right, $6 million. Now let's break this down. You might have tossed a 2006 penny into your jar of change without a second thought. It's just a regular penny, right? Not so fast. This specific coin, the 2006 has a mysterious little twist to it that makes it one of the most valuable pennies in existence. Here's where the fun begins. You see, most pennies from 2006 are, well, pennies. They're worth exactly 1 cent, or if you're lucky, they might help you get a soda out of a vending machine. But there's a rare variety of the 2006 mint mark penny that's got some serious collector buzz. You know, one of those whoa, where'd that come from moments. What makes this penny special? It has an error that was mistakenly struck, causing it to be extremely rare, and rare means valuable in the world of coin collecting. See, there's a particular version where the coin's design got misaligned, or it was struck with a double die. This tiny error made it stand out from the typical ones flooding your pockets. This isn't just some, oh, look at that, a slightly off-center penny kind of thing. No, this is a serious collector's item. Now, the big question, why is it worth $6 million? The short answer, because someone actually sold one for that much. I know, sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but in the world of rare coins, sometimes the value can skyrocket if there's just one out there in mint condition, and collectors are fighting for it. Think of it like the finding a hidden treasure moment, like stumbling on that one rare Pokemon card you thought was just a piece of cardboard. Let me tell you, I've had my own moments where I thought I found a rare coin, only to realize it was just a dirty penny. I once got so excited about a rare 1982 penny I found in my drawer. I rushed to Google, heart pounding, thinking I was about to retire. Turns out it was just an old penny with a little bit of dirt. Rookie mistake, right? But hey, at least I didn't blow $6 million on it. That's how you learn in this game of coin collecting. It's all about knowing what you're looking for and having a little bit of luck. So what can you do now? Well, start going through your change with a little more care. Who knows? You might just have a 2006 mint mark penny chilling in your wallet right now that could make you a fortune. Or maybe it's just a regular penny. Either way, knowing what to look for is half the battle, and I'm here to help you with that. If you want more tips, tricks, and coin hunting strategies, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Who knows, maybe the next video will help you find the next $1 million coin just waiting to be discovered. Let's keep this journey going, and remember, keep your eyes peeled, because you never know what treasure's out there. I've got something that'll blow your mind. Imagine finding a penny, yes, a penny, worth a whopping $4 million. Sounds like something out of a dream, right? Well, buckle up because I'm about to tell you all about the 2014 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and how this little guy could be the jackpot you've been waiting for. But hold on. It's not just any regular penny, okay? We're talking about a rare, highly sought-after coin that could turn your spare change into an insane fortune. So if you're ready to find out how to spot one, grab a snack, sit back, and let's dive into this crazy coin story. All right, let's start with the basics. The 2014 no-mint mark penny is unique because, unlike most pennies, it doesn't have a mint mark. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia where they don't add a mint mark are just business as usual. But in this case, there's a lot more going on. The 2014 penny didn't have a mint mark, and that's what sets it apart. So how does this happen? Well, in 2014, there was a batch of pennies produced in Philadelphia, and somehow some of them were left without the mint mark. Now, most of these were probably mixed in with regular pennies and never thought twice about. But there were a handful of these mint markless pennies that ended up in circulation, and it only takes one savvy collector to notice something's up. And here's the kicker. One of these rare pennies recently sold for an incredible $4 million at auction. Can you imagine finding one of these in your spare change? The guy who found it was probably sitting there, holding a penny, thinking, I'm going to buy a coffee. And instead, he got a whole new life. Can you imagine paying for your coffee and then realizing you just bought a $4 million treasure? Now, I know what you're thinking, but how can I find one of these pennies? Great question. The good news is it's not impossible. You just have to know what to look for. The trick is spotting the no mint mark feature, which may sound easy, but it's not always that obvious. Check your pennies closely. If it looks like a standard 2014 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, you're in the game. But don't just stop there. A real valuable penny also has to be in good condition. So, keep an eye on your coins and make sure they're not too scratched up or damaged. Now, I know some of you are probably getting excited, thinking, wait, I've got a jar of pennies at home. Let me tell you about a time when I thought I had struck gold. Or at least silver. I once spent weeks searching through my change looking for a rare coin that I had read about on the internet. I even watched a few YouTube videos just like this one, convinced that I was about to be the next big coin-flipping millionaire. Turns out, the only treasure I found was a pile of dirty pennies, and it very embarrassed me trying to sell them to my friends as valuable artifacts. Spoiler alert, they weren't. But hey, even though I didn't find that rare coin, it taught me a valuable lesson. The key to making these discoveries is knowledge and patience. I'm sure some of you watching right now have a small fortune sitting in your pockets without even knowing it. That's why it's so important to stay on top of the coin game, keep learning, and of course, keep checking your change. So here's the bottom line, folks. The 2014 no mint mark penny is one of those rare coins that could make you a lot of money if you're lucky enough to find it. And just because you haven't found a $4 million penny yet doesn't mean it's time to give up. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, maybe your next coin find could change your life. But hey, if you want more tips, tricks, and insider knowledge about coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm always here to share the latest and greatest info about coins, and I promise there's more to come. Whether you're hunting for rare pennies, nickels, or dimes, this channel is your go-to place for coin treasure hunting. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you next time on your journey to become a coin millionaire. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single tip. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 2018 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be sitting in your pocket right now. No kidding, this coin's value has gone through the roof, and if you're anything like me, you'll be rummaging through your old piggy bank after this. But before you start digging through your loose change, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on more tips like this, plus the strategies for finding those rare coins that could make you rich. Now, let's talk about this unbelievable penny. So let's get one thing straight. Most pennies you find in your pocket today are worth, well, a penny. We all know the drill. You drop one, and it's like, oh, there goes a penny, no big deal. But what if I told you that some pennies are worth more than your whole coffee order at your favorite cafe? No, seriously, there's a coin out there worth $8 million. You might be wondering, what's so special about a 2018 penny? All right, here's the deal. The 2018 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is super rare, and its value comes from a crazy combination of factors. A lot of these pennies were struck in the usual way, but some of them slipped through the cracks with a few unique characteristics. People spotted them, and let me tell you, the market went nuts. Here's a fun fact. The 2018 D penny originally circulated as just another run-of-the-mill coin, but a tiny number of them were struck with some sort of error, whether it's a rare misstrike or an off-center design, that makes them highly sought after by collectors. We're talking about a coin so rare it might be the only one of its kind. And guess what? It's fetching upwards of $8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $8 million. Let that sink in for a second. Imagine having that one coin in your collection. You might be thinking, how the heck do I know if I've got one of these bad boys? Don't worry, it's not as tough as you think. First off, the 2018 D Mint Mark penny has that D Mint mark, and trust me, it's hard to miss. But the real magic happens when you get that rare misprint or flaw. Check closely. If your penny looks a little off-center or has weird patterns or doesn't look quite like the rest of your pennies, bingo, you might be holding a potential treasure. Now, before you go sifting through all your change, I gotta tell you, finding this rare 2018 penny in circulation is like finding a needle in a haystack. It's not exactly common. But hey, it's worth checking your pockets just in case. And here's where my personal story comes in. That I remember when I first started collecting coins. I had no idea what I was looking for. I was so excited about pennies, I even made a game out of checking my change. Side note, one time, I spent way too much time inspecting a penny, thinking it was rare, only to realize it was just dirty. Yeah, a good wash and it was as good as new, not rare, not valuable. Lesson learned. But my obsession paid off. One day, while doing a quick coin roll hunt, I found a rare 1943 copper penny. It wasn't worth $8 million, but it was still worth a few grand. The feeling of finding something special in your change is priceless. And I bet if you keep your eyes peeled and your magnifying glass ready, you could score big with a 2018 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 2018 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is no ordinary penny. It's a golden ticket to a massive fortune if you happen to stumble upon one with a rare misstrike. While finding one might take some luck, it's worth paying attention and checking out your change now and then. And hey, don't just stop here. There's a whole world of valuable coins out there, and I'm here to guide you through it. So, if you're looking to uncover more coin treasures, strategies for hunting rare finds, and everything in between, you gotta hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss any of the tips coming your way. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Keep hunting, stay curious, and who knows, the next $1 million coin could be in your pocket.